Nothing on Monday. Okay, very easy Monday, long weekend if you wish. No holidays, but no events worth mentioning. On Tuesday, we have the Chinese industrial output, important for the Australian dollar. And inflation in the UK, let's see. Inflation for the month of August, if it has picked up due to Brexit or not. Perhaps the British pound doesn't have such a strong impact. German zoo indicator, early but not always correct. It did improve last time, but it's still, German investors are not that confident, still impacted by Brexit, contrary to UK investors, which are more optimistic. I mean, they bounced back. On Wednesday, UK jobs report, jobless claims for August, and the unemployment rate and wages for July. Let's see if we have any Brexit impact. Again, the previous report was A-OK, and the oil report, as usual, crude oil inventories on Wednesday. Thursday is an extremely busy day next week. GDP from New Zealand very early in the morning. Australian jobs report, always key for top tier for the Australian dollar. The Swiss rate decision, the quarterly rate decision, they will probably tell us that they have decided to keep the peg. Sorry, they don't have a peg anymore. They will keep intervening in markets and keep their very negative interest rate of minus 0.75. Maybe we'll see some wobbles in the Swiss franc, but unless they, no big moves unless they really change policy, and that is not expected. UK retail sales, that's for the month of August. Let's see if the good trend from July continues. That means that that consumers are ignoring Brexit and just enjoying the good weather. That was the reason, in theory, for the good retail sales report back in July. And of course, on the same day, the UK rate decision. We'll talk more about that in detail. But in general, no change is expected. The big move awaits us probably in November. It's a big day for the US economy. Retail sales and producer price index and industrial output. Retail sales is always the most important release because most of the US economy is about consumption. And if some people still have doubts about the rate hike in September, that could give an answer. But anyway, I think at this moment it'll shape the message. If we have a good report from retail sales, it could mean a more optimistic message from the Fed regarding a rate hike in December. And if not, it'll be more doom and gloom. But I don't think it'll be a game changer for a rate hike in September, which is only 1 week afterwards, 2 weeks from now. Okay. And on Friday, US inflation and consumer sentiment. Consumer sentiment could be more important for politics. Okay, if consumers are more optimistic, it should be good for Clinton. If they're more pessimistic, for Trump. In theory, it reflects, well, it should also impact markets because higher consumer sentiment in theory means more retail sales in September, and that should impact the Fed. But we know that the correlation between those consumer sentiment releases and actual retail sales is not always straightforward. Okay, so that's the preview for the week of September 12th to September 16th. Okay, let's see.